Welcome to our video on social housing. This video will talk you through how to apply for social housing, what forms, documentation you need, where to get them, and how to complete the application. Before filling out your application, please ensure you are within the income thresholds for Kildare County Council. There are specific income bands depending on your circumstances, for example the number of adults/children in your household, and these can be found on our website. Please also ensure you are either A, living in the Kildare County Council area, or B, have a local connection in our area. So what is a local connection? A local connection is a member of the household that has lived in the area for a continuous 5-year period at any time, a member of the household who's employed in the area or within 15 kilometres, a member of the household who is in full-time education in any university, college, school or other educational establishment in the area, a member of the household who has endured physical, sensory, mental health or intellectual impairment is attending a related educational or medical establishment in the area. Lastly, a local connection is a relative of any member of the household who lives in the area and has lived here for a minimum of 2 years. A relative refers to a person who is not a member of the household applying for social housing support and is a parent, adult child or sibling of a member of the household, or may include another relative such as a step-parent, grandparent, grandchild, aunt or uncle, who has close links with the household member in the form of commitment or dependence. So how do I apply? To start the process, the first thing you need to do is get a social housing application form. To apply, this form needs to be filled out completely and returned to the Kildare County Council Housing Assessment Team. So where can I get a form? The easiest place to access the social housing application form is on the Kildare County Council website. Another way you can access one is by requesting it directly from our Housing Assessment Team or Customer Services Team by contacting them at the number or email on the screen now. Alternatively, you can find them at one of our 15 libraries across the county. Where do you submit your application? There are 4 ways to submit your application, so select which works for you. The first way is to post to the address on screen now, which is Housing Assessments, Housing Department, Kildare County Council, Áras Kildare, Devoy Park, Naas, County Kildare, W91 X77F. You will need to attach the appropriate postage fee. The second is by email to customerservice@kildarecoco.ie. Please put application for social housing support in the subject line. The third way is to submit your application through the drop box located outside the Kildare County Council building, which is accessible between 6 AM and 7 PM. The fourth and final way to submit your completed application form is to drop it into the drop box at level 1, Áras Kildare, during office hours 9 AM to 5 PM. Here are some of the things that are important to note when filling out your application form. To help you along, a checklist of all the extra and supporting documents that you need to submit alongside your application are listed on the pages 3 and 4 of the application form. To have a fully completed form, you must remember to fill in all the relevant sections. It is important that you answer all questions on the application form. Your application will not move forward unless all the information we need is filled in. If there is a question that doesn't apply to you, please write N/A in the box provided. It is crucial that you sign the declaration on page 23 of the form. So on the actual form, the form is split up into 12 parts. The first part is personal details. This part asks things like your name, your date of birth, and your current address. The second part is nationality details. So where are you from? This part asks about where you were born, what languages you speak, and your citizenship status. The third part is your employment details, or where do you work? This part asks if you are working and the details of that work if you answer yes. The fourth part is income details and asks about the money you are getting on a weekly basis. The fifth part is details of other household members or other people applying with you. This part asks about the people who live in the house with you, for example your partner or any children you may have. The sixth part is current accommodation. So where do you live now? This part asks about the current living situation. The seventh part is accommodation history, or where have you lived before. This part asks for information on previous living situations. The eighth part is housing requirements, or what house do you need. This part asks about what specific things you need in your house. The ninth part is the basis for the application. This part ensures you're applying in just one area and you meet the requirements for that area. The 10th part is other property information on other houses / land that you may own. The 11th part is public order offences and other information. The last part is other information and where you add in anything else that you might feel may support your housing application. If you have a specific housing need and your application is on medical grounds, you will need to accompany your application with a fully completed and signed HMD Form 1. This application is available on our website or by contacting Housing Assessments or Customer Services at the details provided at the end of the video. So what supporting documents do you need? When submitting documents regarding your income, we will need to see evidence for the past year for each member of the household that is over the age of 18. So for example, if you're applying in November 2023, you will need to provide evidence of your income from November 2022 to the month that you submit, a full 12 months. These next few clips will detail the documents you need depending on whether you're employed, self-employed or receiving social welfare payments. If you're employed, you will need to include payslips for the current year and a statement of liability or an employment details summary form from the previous year. A statement of liability is issued to PAYE customers and gives details of your total income from all sources, a breakdown of your tax credit, any tax and universal social charge that you've paid during this year, as well as any underpayments or overpayments of tax. An employment details summary contains your pay and statutory deductions for the year as reported by your employer or pension provider. Either the statement of liability or the employment details summary document is required and both can be accessed on the revenue.ie website under My Account. If you do not have a My Account, you can register for one. Links to both Revenue online services are provided above this video. If you are self-employed, you will need to submit a minimum of 2 years accounts with an auditor's report. You will also need to submit a notice of assessment and or self-assessment acknowledgement letter for the past 12 months. Lastly, if you're receiving social welfare payments and you provide a correct PPSN and date of birth for each member of the household, we can access your social welfare payments. If you need further information or help completing your social housing application form, you can visit the Kildare County Council website and view the easy-to-read guide. Alternatively, you can contact a member of our housing assessment team or our customer service team at the details above. Furthermore, we have provided links above the video to all relevant forms, guides and frequently asked questions that you might need as part of the application process. So what can you expect to happen after you submit your application for social housing support? When received, your application will be logged by the Housing Assessment team. This team will issue an acknowledgement letter confirming we have received your application. Please note that it may take up to 12 weeks to process a fully completed application form, provided no further information is required. If further information is required, a member of the Housing Assessment team will be in contact with you at the contact details provided on the application form. If your personal details or circumstances change during this process, please notify the team via email at housingassessments@kildarecoco.ie. Further information about the process is available on our FAQs. Thank you.